Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another brand new episode of the Collider Games podcast. My name is Dennis Zen. I'm in studio with...
What's up, guys? It's your boy Dorian here.
And...
What up? It's Tony Revis.
Yeah, Caboose, he was going to join us, but then I think there was like some
Mortal
Kombat stuff.
Yeah. Stuff.
He's got to do his
But he will
stuff.
be joining us for E3 when we head out there in, a week?
About a week and a half.
About a week.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there we go. A lot of news coming out. I mean, we were just kind of talking before this podcast started about how it feels like some of the biggest news or trailers and stuff are dropping before.
It feels like E3 this week.
Exactly. Because, usually they wait till E3 to do the trailer reveals, especially big games like this. I mean, we're going to talk about, Marvel's Avengers. We're going to talk about Death Stranding. We're going to talk about Call of Duty Modern Warfare. All three of those things had news.
Yeah.
So let's start with the Marvel's Avengers. That's like the official title because we knew that Square Enix was making an Avengers game, and there was like a teaser. Was it last year or the year before?
I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
They didn't talk about it last year, which upset me.
So we still haven't seen the trailer, so maybe that's something we can still look forward to.
Yeah,
but
that's what they confirmed.
They confirmed the name, which is Marvel's Avengers, and then I guess this has been taken down, but it's the original description was embrace your powers and join the key members of the development team. This is a job description, I guess, a show listing for the game. Yeah. Join the development team at Crystal Dynamics and the creative team at Marvel Games as they talk exclusively about the upcoming Marvel's Avengers. This is a defining Avengers gaming experience, an epic action adventure that combines cinematic story with continuous single-player and cooperative gameplay. So, moderated by Andrea Renee. Actually, I know her from whatchamacallit? What's that company called? Clever.
Yeah. What's good games?
Yeah. Assemble in teams of up to 4 players, master extraordinary abilities, customize your heroes to find your playstyle, and combine powers to defend an ever expanding world under constant threat. So.
I'm excited about this. I was already I've been pumped for this game, and I was pissed because at the Video Game Awards they had the Russo brothers come out and present. I was
upsetting.
Why even bring them? Why even bring them out if you're not going to have them reveal the biggest Avengers game? So I'm definitely excited for this because that teaser trailer that they did reveal a while back, it kind of reminded me of Tony's vision from Age of Ultron.
That's exactly what it looked like.
When all the heroes are scattered and all that. So it had me think
the shield was broken.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited to see either whether it's they'll be the playable characters, or we'll get new heroes that'll have to take over the mantle since all of our former heroes are destroyed. And I kind of find it cool that they decided to hold it back until after Endgame now, because I don't know. I think that was a smart move to do that now.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'm super excited. I ranted about it last week on this podcast. That I was like, if that's the only thing I really care about at E3, if they don't talk about this game, I said I was going to burn Square Enix to the ground. Yeah. and I'm so glad that we got the confirmation that we're going to get information at E3. So super excited. This is it has, especially after the success of the Spider-Man game. I know it's a different company and everything, but seeing what they could do with a Marvel property and a superhero, and Arkham games have been successful and everything, but just the opportunity to have a full-blown Avengers game with so many different opportunities, it's so exciting. I cannot wait to see what they can do.
Do you think they'll try to connect it with the Spider-Man game, or you think we'll get
That's
a whole new Spider-Man?
That's a good question, because I was talking about this with my buddy. I was like, do you think Spider-Man will be in this game? Mm-hmm. And I have a feeling he probably won't be because of
the new Spider-Man,
because of what they got going over there. So they might try to keep it separate. I don't know.
Or just be like, where's Spider-Man? He's like, oh, he's off. He's doing something else right now, and that's the Spider-Man from the PS4. Or they could just introduce a whole new Spider-Man with the voice actor.
There's tiny little Easter eggs in the Spider-Man game because you can go to Avengers Tower or whatever, and he says something he explains why they're not in the city. Mm-hmm. They're off doing something else. So people thought maybe that's tied into the Avengers game. At some reason, this will give the explanation of why they're not in New York. Mm-hmm. So maybe the Avengers game will be something about that. But I'm excited. I mean, co-op play, single player, cinematic, those are all the words I wanted to hear. They're throwing them at us. So I'm excited.
It'd be interesting. You think they'll... Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say, I'm hoping that the game is more of we all love playing that old X-Men arcade game, like the 4-player co-op.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I mean, that's just a beat 'em up, right?
Sure.
I want this to be, obviously you want some action in it, but and you want to use their powers and whatnot, but I hope to see some kind of like leveling up of characters, getting extra abilities, like some sort of RPG light elements into the game that is not just a straightforward, okay, there's 4 of us, we just destroy everything that we can in front of us.
Right, especially you think, again, they're probably, it's not going to be tied into the movies or whatever, but you have to look at the last Avengers movies, and it's like you see Thor get a new weapon, like something like that, or then you see like their team up moves. Like maybe you can gain like, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
That'd be dope. Like throwing like using Iron Man's bolts off Captain America's shield,
exactly.
shooting off
to
of
be able to do stuff like
incorporating
that.
all of it. Yeah, that'd be dope.
One thing that I'm a little nervous about, that I'm unsure how I feel about, because one of the things that was talked about was the idea that there's going to be a lot of customization, and I think Caboose talked about this a few weeks ago. Whenever we talked about this game last, the potential rumors and that we were both kind of turned off by the idea of playing as an original character. That is a part of the Avengers. That's not really what I'm looking for.
No.
I want to be able to play as Iron Man and then maybe switch over and play as Hulk, and then maybe they all have different classes. Like Hulk's the tank, right? He has high damage and he has high health. And then you have Iron Man, more of a support character. Thor's more of like a brawler, like stuff like that. And being able to switch up, especially if we're playing co-op, right? If all 3 of us are playing together, we can all be different superheroes that kind of complement each other, and seeing where they take that. The customization would be cool, maybe because we've seen these characters go through different transformations when it comes to the way they look in the comics and stuff like that. So maybe you can switch that kind of stuff up, and those RPG elements where they get in the movies they change their suits, right? They have the advanced suit and stuff like that. So maybe that's part of the RPG elements. Like now this one has different attributes, like it has higher defense and stuff like that.
Exactly.
But hopefully that's what the customization is, and not like playing as an original character, because that would bum me out, I think.
I think that's what they did with Jump Force. Like you could create your own character at the same time. Like during the story mode, you couldn't play with any other characters, but you had to play with your own character instead. But you could still like had the option to play with those. That didn't really turn me off, but I would have liked to have like gone through the story with Naruto or something like that.
Right, kind of like how Mortal Kombat does it.
Yeah, exactly.
And DC Online did that kind of thing,
that
right?
old.
Where you created it was like you're an original character.
I just feel like if they want to do like cinematic storytelling, they want to tell a story along with this game, that creating a custom character that has nothing to do with the Marvel Cinematic, or not just the Marvel Universe in general, doesn't make any sense, right? They need to tell a story that's like, the only thing is even still you're limited by the characters you pick, you know what I mean? So
because if there's like certain plot points that like it has to be Iron Man to move the story along. That's the only reason that I was kind of like, oh, maybe we're going to be an original character, because then it doesn't matter. They just plop that original character in there. But I'm excited to hear about it. I mean, single player, being able to co-op just sounds incredible. I imagine having 4 players, all just being 4 Avengers running around and tearing it up.
But then you definitely, whatever, if they do include any sort of leveling up or changing of, weapons or armor or whatnot, it's going to have to be fairly simple and easy to do, because you would only do that between levels. You're playing 4 people, right? No one's going to sit around and wait for you. You know what I mean? Like you're going to go in there and like level up every single customization like you would in like a regular RPG game, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be a very simple, almost like when we played World War Z, like you can upgrade your skills and your weapons and but it's very simplified. It's very like, just add this up this level, you know?
Or even like a skill tree, like they did that in Spider-Man, where it's like there's like kind of like a skill tree where you're like getting kind of new abilities or new combos, that kind of thing.
Yeah, just make it very easy, so someone's not going to sit there for like 10 minutes trying to customize their character, because everyone else wants to play.
No grinding, nothing like.
Yeah, it'd be more of a simplified version. All right, other big news: the Death Stranding trailer.
Yeah,
the 9-minute trailer. Me and Dorian did a reaction review for. So we gave our thoughts already. what are your thoughts, Tony?
So, you know, we're all kind of in the same camp where we're like, what the hell is Death Stranding? We've been saying that for years, right? And just kind of waiting, like, what is this? What is this game? And we're still kind of in that zone, right? We're still a little confused, but getting to see more, this trailer did give us more. And I went from, I'm excited because it's a Kojima game and I love Kojima, so I'm excited. I'm going to play it and, you know, whatever it is, to now being like, I'm actually super excited, getting to see more of what it's like, getting to see some gunplay. You know, I'm like, oh, okay, you can get, there's that part in the trailer, he's got an assault rifle. I'm like, all right, I'm actually shooting people. Like, this is a game now. Instead of, like at E3 last year, the gameplay trailer they did
was
where
walking
he was just
around.
walking. I'm like, what is it?
Yeah.
So at least getting to see more of that, get to see that ladder part where you pull out the ladder and do all that. I think I'm going to be awful at this game.
Hell yeah.
Because I'm awful at all Kojima games. I'm really bad at Metal Gear Solid, but I'm really excited he said it's not a stealth game. Because I'm real bad at that. So we still don't know what it is. And it still seems confusing and convoluted. But
do you have any theories, though? Because we both gave our like little theories of what.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's something to do, I think, with not like people dying, but not completely passing over into an afterlife or whatever, and kind of being in this limbo.
Yeah, and using the baby to somehow get into that world or see that world.
Or being connected to it. Because now it's like you have someone that's unborn, so they're not yet alive. Yeah. And then someone that's dead, and it's like and then we're in the in-between and using those to kind of bridge the gap, because it's the Stranding, right? It's connection. So connecting the not yet born with the already past. I don't know what I'm saying, but
no, I mean, it's better than what I said.
I mean, they got an all-star cast in there. I mean, you got Norman Reedus is playing the main character, Sam Porter Bridges. You had Mads Mikkelsen. You had Lea Seydoux. You have Guillermo del Toro, Nicholas Winding Refn, Troy Baker. You have like a lot of big names in there already. And
again, kind of with Avengers, like the big thing for me that I look for when the games that I'm like really super into are going to be cinematic, or at least have a story that I'm connected to. That's why like last year was a masterpiece year for me, because Red Dead story was just so absorbed in it. God of War, Spider-Man, like I just loved those stories. So this trailer at least gave us a little more of that. We still don't know what it is. And this was the tough thing that I was talking about before too. There's so many games these days that I don't have time for all of them. Right? And this seemed like a game that I was like, I don't know what it is. So spending $60 on a game I don't know what it is going to be tough. So it'd be one of those things that I might want to check out first. But it's also a game that I don't want anything to be spoiled. It seems like it's that kind of story game. So I don't want to look into it and get something spoiled to see if it's worth playing.
That
so
trailer was not a spoiler, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But it did enough to get me intrigued in seeing, okay, there's actually gameplay. It didn't seem like a weird art film that Kojima was throwing at us like every other trailer's been. There was still like, okay, this is actually a trailer for a video game now.
Yes. There was actual like game. We saw the HUD. We saw the game, like actual fighting mechanics to it. So there's actually not just some dude walking around.
The hand-to-hand combat looked pretty fun. When he's running away from those. That was the part that I was like, oh, I'm going to be bad at that.
Boy, when he's trying to dodge,
he's trying to run from the baton guys. I was like, oh boy, I'm gonna. And then he got hit, and the thing came off his backpack, and he had to pick it back up. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be doing that so much. But getting to see the hand-to-hand combat there, then getting to pick up a rifle, I was like, all right, there's gameplay here. We still don't know what the hell is going on, and I guarantee you, we'll play the game and still be like, what did I just experience? We'll still not know.
You still wouldn't like play the game. You still wouldn't be able to. I told Dennis like if you watched the trailer and had to explain it to somebody or explain what Death Stranding was, you would be like wordless. You just wouldn't know what the hell to talk about.
Yeah. And all that speculation. I think you were on that episode, right, where we're like, oh, maybe it'll be for the next generation. No, it's for the PS4.
Right.
It's coming this November. So.
Yeah, which was a nice surprise, because 2019 was, especially coming off the heels of 2018, such a great year of gaming. 2019 was like so much to look forward to, but like we didn't have a lot of release dates, and now they're just coming all over the place. So 2019 is going to be a huge year, and Kojima's been really weird about this in promotion of it. Like, oh, you've been playing Death Stranding for years, because that idea of like they've lost connection with each other, humans. Like that's what We get lost in social media. We lost on our cell phones. I think
Yeah.
that's an allegory for this game at some point. So it's about reconnecting. So you're going to be, you know.
So getting a baby fetus in a little
right.
thing and carrying it around.
Crazy. And then there was something like on the pre-order screen, there was like a little synopsis, and it's about, you know, you're playing the main character trying to reconnect these cities to each other or something. Because, like, there's the part where he's talking, and it's like the U.S. is like fallen or whatever.
Yeah. He talks to the president.
Yeah, right. And it's like trying to reconnect it, and he's like, "Oh, what's the point?" And she's like, "No, there's a so."
I mean, it's funny because you were like, "Oh, it's convoluted." I was like, "Dude, isn't every Hideo Kojima game convoluted?"
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, it's his thing.
Yeah.
I don't even think he knows what the hell he's making.
It's art.
Yeah. All right. And like you mentioned, a lot of trailers just releasing. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, the reveal trailer, also coming at the end of this year.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I liked it. We kind of talked about last week because some details kind of got leaked,
Yes.
right? So we kind of talked about that it's like a soft reboot or whatever.
Yes.
And getting to see the trailer, we kind of talked about what we were hoping for, right? Kind of getting back to the campaign center of it. Because again, I don't like to go online and just get wrecked all the time. Like it's not as fun. So being able to play story mode, single player stuff is exciting, and that was the original draw with Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2. That was really strong about those titles, is they had a good campaign and they had like offline missions that you could do co-op and stuff like that. So hopefully getting back to those roots is exciting, and this seemed like it was story based, right?
Yeah.
So that really excited me. The new engine, it kind of looked like it was an engine, looked great, but yeah, I mean, looking forward to seeing what it can be. Hopefully they're taking it in a new direction instead of just like year after year being just a similar title. If we can kind of refresh it like Assassin's Creed has done, like these franchises are doing, trying to revitalize their franchise, I'm excited.
Yeah, I fell off of Call of Duty for a minute, but I told Dennis like the trailer like excited me, and then reading up on like the stuff that it's coming with, I'm definitely going to give it a try.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get to see it get to test hopefully they bring it to E3 to like actually test it out.
The really cool thing is it being crossplay, which is awesome.
Yeah. October 25th, that's coming out. Yeah, they're doing like what they called a soft reboot on this. They're going to bring some of the original characters from previous games. And yeah, it does seem more of a focus on campaign mode.
Right. Because it seemed like a story trailer versus like anything else. So.
Yeah, it's not like Black Ops 4 where it was like, okay, this is multiplayer only, and that's what we're focusing on, where this one seems like they'll have both, obviously, but at least for a player like me, having that campaign there is an extra sell.
Yeah.
Because I didn't buy Black Ops 4
right.
because I was like, I suck at multiplayer, and that's the only thing it has, so why am I going to...
Right.
Actually, I am more excited for this. After playing Blood and Truth, I'm like I'm in the soldier mentality all day. Like, give me an army game or anything like that now, bro. So actually, I just thought about that. I'm gonna give this I'll give it a fair chance.
Because I had some of my best memories on the 360 were Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2, and it was not from playing online. It was playing co-op and doing the campaign, and bring it back, man.
Yeah, so that's another big game that dropped a trailer and a release date. So, what's left for E3? I mean, Avengers still. I mean, if they have a trailer, and they can launch that at E3.
And then Phil Spencer said, he tweeted that like, oh, it's their biggest conference yet, and they have like 14 first-party titles to talk about, and then a bunch of different other stuff. So maybe this is a good sign. Like, I was nervous. I was like, oh, we're getting all this news before E3. But maybe that just means there's like real big stuff coming at E3, so that these people had to get out in front of it. That's the optimist look of it. Yeah. To look at it, hopefully.
There'll still be some surprises and some big stuff coming. It's just...
that's the best part of E3. It's just like the surprises. Those like what? Like, I think of like God of War 2016 or whatever, when they announced that. Like, just like... Those surprises are just the best moments of E3, and I'm just hoping we get some.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar to Comic-Con when they have panels and they like bust out like, oh, by the way, we're gonna do this. I remember like, even though it didn't turn out as good as I wanted it to be, but like Batman v Superman, they did like an announcement at Comic-Con about that. People went nuts, and showing either teaser footage or trailer or footage that people didn't know was coming. You know, just big surprises. And
because over the like Avengers is one thing because they didn't show it last year, so we've been like jonesing for it. But I'll take a surprise announcement over like, all right, this is a game you know is coming, and here's like a gameplay trailer. Like that's cool. But like, especially last year with Sony's conference, they focused on like 4 big games. So like Spider-Man, I was already in on. I was going to get that no matter what. So you didn't have to sell me on another trailer. Ghost of Tsushima, like I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Last of Us, Part 2.
And Death Stranding. It's like I'm already like in. Like I'm going to play Last of Us 2. So it's cool to see that stuff, but getting like something new and surprising is
I think that's what Microsoft is going to do because they realized, like we mentioned before, they lost the war because they didn't have the first party game exclusives that people wanted, and that's why they bought all the studios. So I'm expecting them to show some new IP that's gonna hopefully bring people in.
Yeah.
Because I remember they were working that one game Scalebound for a while, and people were thinking that was gonna be cool, and then they ended up canceling it.
And then there was rumors that it was going to Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean,
for a while back, because part of their little partnership. That's something that I'm kind of like waiting on. That would be a big moment if at the Xbox press conference, like Nintendo has something there.
We just pop up. Hey,
we're partners or whatever on something.
Well, I mean, they were partnering with Sony for the cloud gaming stuff. I know. So we'll see.
What if Sony just surprises everybody and drops a release date for Last of Us 2? I know they're not going to be there, but you never know.
There's
or Naughty Dog does it instead.
We'll see. There's rumors.
Yeah.
But I mean, you take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. So speaking of Blood and Truth that Dorian mentioned earlier, but big week in VR.
Yeah.
Big week in VR. VR in general is having a I don't know. I wouldn't say a comeback because it never died, but it kind of like.
You weren't a fan of Virtual Boy? Come on, man.
When it came out, like people were excited, but then the enthusiasm kind of died down, and there wasn't anything much there. But now there's like this big kind of comeback in a way. Just in this past week, we had the Oculus Quest, or that was last week, but the Oculus Quest came out with Vader Immortal, which me and him both played. We'll talk about that. PSVR, which has been out for a while, but you have 3 big games come out in this past few weeks, which is Everybody Golf, Blood and Truth, which we'll talk about as well. Trover Saves the Universe. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now VR seem to get, the what was it? Valve and their Index. Mm-hmm. Like all these things are now kind of appearing. Even today, they released, and I haven't played it yet because I was like downloading it right before it's not a game, but it's a VR experience for Game of Thrones for on Viveport, on HTC Vive. So downloading that now, going to play that after and see what that's all. But what I'm saying is like there's just like so much VR is now looked at because it was kind of people were making fun of it.
It's less of a gimmick now.
Yes.
Where it's like, oh, I can see my hand. Now it's like, no, like these full-blown experiences.
Yeah. And so let's start with Vader Immortal because I think that's probably the biggest game. Yeah. I mean, it was big enough. Like I was driving through Hollywood and they had this big billboard for Vader Immortal, which is right now exclusively for the Oculus Quest. It's going to come to the Rift later on. Right now, the only place you can play it is on the Quest, which is, we've been playing around with one in the office, and everyone's like addicted to the thing.
And it makes sense to do that because it's going to sell the system.
Everyone in this office, and everybody wants to do it right in front, in the middle, instead of taking it out somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And people who don't know, the Collider Studio is actually this big. We have like this podcast room, and then we have 2 separate studios that we shoot stuff in. But then we have this big open area that a lot of the desks are at, and in the middle it's just like a big open space, which is like perfect for VR.
It's like this used to be a Costco or something.
Yeah. So people are just in the brilliant thing about the Quest and why I think it's such a game changer is that because it's not tethered, you don't need a PC or a laptop. I mean, yes, we've been talking about it, but once you get your hands on it and actually play it, you realize it. Like I took it home. We've had the HTC Vive here how long?
Since I've been here, it's been years.
Yeah, so let's say 2 years, right? Never have I taken it home with me because I'm like, do I want to? And we don't even have a desktop with it. We have a powerful laptop. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't want to bring this and that. The Quest fits in like a little carrying case.
Looks like a
this
Beats
size.
like a Beats case.
Like
Yeah.
a giant Beats case,
Yeah.
right? Like if your headphone was like, if your headphones were like this big, actually no, not even that big, this big.
Before you go, do you have to move? Like, can you play kind of stationary?
Yeah.
Like, could you play sitting down?
Yeah.
Because like, people be like taking that on an airplane, just like
Just
No, people play like Mark took it on the airplane.
that's crazy.
He used it to watch stuff. I don't know
Sure.
if he played anything, but I think he used it to watch stuff.
Just hitting your neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Maybe only in first class you could do it. But
yeah, but theoretically, yeah, you could
That's
play on an
crazy.
airplane if you wanted to. I mean, that's the thing is I took it. Right now my place is like under construction. I have like water damage on the ceiling and whatnot.
Ugh.
So like my living room's screwed. Half of it is unusable. The other half is just the couch and all the other furniture is just packed in there. So I have no living room right now. But I was still able to go to my bedroom, move a few things aside, and play. You know what I mean? There's no sensors to it. So it's just Invader Immortal is the perfect title to sell this thing for. Because you have this franchise, Star Wars, obviously, that most everyone loves and knows. And Darth Vader, which is, beloved character, even though he's the villain.
yeah,
And you get to play this game on this new device, and it's such an easy you know what I mean? Like versus building up IP or whatnot. And then the great thing too for the Oculus Quest is you're taking all the old Rift games and you just put it on the Quest. And to most people who are casual fans, and this is what the Quest is for, because the graphics aren't as good, the responsiveness isn't as good, but they're all good enough. They're taking all these old games and porting them over to the Quest. And to the casual new VR person, these are all new games.
Right.
So they're like, okay, I just bought Oculus Quest. What games are there? Oh, it's not like 5-6 launch titles, even though there's probably only a few that are
exclusive. Yeah,
it's like 50 games.
yeah,
Because it's already there for you. So you think, oh, here's 50 new games I got to play.
yeah.
So, anyways, Vader Immortal, it's a short game. It's only like 45 minutes,
Oh wow.
but it's fun. It's
This is the first chapter. Right?
but I liken it much but more interactive than those Telltale games. It's like a story-based game. You go in there, you have some lightsaber battles. You interact with Darth Vader. You interact with different characters. And you do some stuff. It's not a full-on. It's not as like action-oriented like as Dorian's going to talk about Blood and Truth. But you get something there. It's short, but it's only $9.99.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be 3 episodes.
Yeah.
So, Dorian, how'd you find that game?
What do you mean?
Vader Immortal.
I really enjoyed it from playing it back at Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be a hit, so to actually do the full experience, it was awesome. And once you actually do, even though it's not super action heavy, just being able to wield the lightsabers and fight off some droids and stuff like that I could see myself like playing that all day, just spinning around using the Force, killing people, even though I'm trash at it. But visually, like Dennis said, it's not like HD quality, but you're in a Star Wars world. Like it doesn't take away. Like you're on a ship floating around. You see this massive planet, and you look around. And you're just like, wow, bro, I'm really in here. So regardless of like how amazing the quality is, I think it's still breathtaking. Like I think everybody will get something out of this.
Yeah. And then what do you think about the Oculus Quest now playing around with it?
I made the mistake of I did the Oculus Quest first, and then we did PSVR. So I'm not shitting on the PSVR or anything, but it's just we talked about this, such a big difference from like going from being free range, have no cords on you or anything like that, to then going to the PSVR and having to set everything up and calibrate different things, rather than the Oculus Quest where you just have to literally find your area to make sure you don't bump into anything. So I could see myself buying an Oculus Quest now, like rather than a PSVR. I mean, I have a PS4, so I would still get a PSVR inevitably, especially just for Blood and Truth. But I would definitely spend money to get my own Oculus Quest after this.
Yeah. I forgot to mention that the setup is so easy.
Yeah.
Like before, like with the HTC Vive, you have the sensors. You have to set them up. You have to have a separate computer. You got to download, let's say, like Steam VR and load that up, and then you got to calibrate this and that, and you do room scale. This thing literally has a see-through, pass-through camera that you can actually, even when you have the goggles on, you can see. You just look at the area you want to map around you and go, psh, and it doesn't. The great thing, it doesn't have to be like a square or a circle. It just maps out an entire grid for you.
Wow.
And then you get to play. And the thing is you got a small area, then you got a small area. You got a bigger area, you have a bigger area. But yeah, PSVR, that's a different story. It's obviously that one is you have to, have a specialized area to be playing because you got the PlayStation, you got the PSVR headset, which has a lot involved with hooking up the stuff. You have to have the camera and whatnot. But once you get to the games themselves are actually of high quality. Dorian, I played a little of Blood and Truth, and I had a lot of fun with it. But Dorian played a lot more than I did.
And you got to play it too.
Yeah, we played it in San Francisco.
Okay, cool. What was your experience with it?
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Kind of, it's on rails, right?
Yes.
A little bit.
Yes.
So that's one thing. But putting you in that kind of Warzone, Call of Duty style kind of gameplay in VR is really, really cool. The opportunity to like dual wield weapons, and it's very, you can do anything you want in that respect.
And basically, when we played at San Francisco, it was like the first mission and a half. You made it to like where we were driving in the car down.
Right.
So like after that, and I don't know what your first impressions were like story wise, but I was just thinking going in, this is going to be like a Michael Bay action. No like real heart to the story or anything like that, but as I was playing, I was thoroughly surprised with how like I was enjoying the story itself. It was the story is a well-written story, and the characters besides yourself, like I forgot what his real name is, but the characters that you interact with and stuff, they build like a real relationship, and you actually like feel empathy and stuff for them, because especially now that you're in VR, like they're talking to you face to face, like it feels like they're looking you in the eye and all of that. So I thoroughly enjoyed it, and there's some dope ass music. You didn't even get to. There's a little bit of music I think when we played it, but throughout the game, like the soundtrack.
I don't think they gave us headphones.
No, they didn't. They
for
didn't.
That one, yeah.
So you like when you play again, you like the score to it, the soundtrack. You get to be a DJ, bro. Like there's some stuff in there that I think everybody will enjoy. But this is probably thus far my favorite VR game I've played overall. Just and the thing about it is you can sit there, you don't get dizzy or anything. You could actually sit there and play for 5 or 6 hours just nonstop because of the story, because of the action, all the stuff that they give you, the weapon upgrades. Like there's one part where like, so you get your guns and stuff like that, your own hub, you can actually customize the guns. Like, so you get the gun out, you put it on this little thingy, you add the accessories to it, and you can spray paint it, customize it, all that. Then you take it to the gun range, test them out, then you go out and kill some people. So it's very thought out. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it looks like just basically an action movie that you get to be the actual person in there. And, from what I played of it, yes, it is on rails, and there isn't a lot of free movement around, but one, it doesn't make you nauseous. They do like the vignetting when they move you quickly, that reduces any type of like nausea and whatnot. And I also mentioned too, you did the review, which is on the channel right now, but I talked about like how cool it was, like where if you want to pick a lock, like they have a little kit, and you take out and you pick it, and you know what I mean, and you're doing a lot of stuff, climbing ladder. There's a lot more to it. You get the
put the gun on your back.
Yeah, put the gun on back, like pulling, like, so there's all these cool little hand motion things that you got to do in the game that make you feel part of.
It's really immersive.
Yeah. I'm just a lazy fuck. So sometimes like climbing, like you have to do a bunch of like, felt like Tomb Raider at a point. I was like climbing. That's not a complaint. It's just I'm just lazy in general. Like the average person would.
I got
be
bad shoulders.
Yeah,
so like trying to reach the gun. I was like,
So sometimes like that, it was just for me because I need to start working out again. There's a lot of climbing and stuff like that. So in itself, it was an exercise. So I thought that was cool. But overall, I think I hope it's a game changer for the PSVR. I hope this is hopefully the word of mouth, the buzz around it, because I think it's been getting great reviews thus far. So hopefully this can be the thing that, like, if there are people that are like, oh, I want to get a PSVR, but I don't know if there's like the game for me. I hope this is that game that actually gets people trying to get more into VR, because it has all, like, it's a movie in itself. You get action, you get music, you get like everything encompassed into one.
You think this is gonna help sell the like PSVR like systems to people?
I think so, personally. I think this is, like I said, with the like all the good reviews it's going to get, and if they do this, maybe do a bundle package and actually do a discount for the PSVR itself, and be like, hey, get a Blood and Truth, get this
PSVR, yeah.
PSVR bundle. I think that would be the smart move to actually get more word of mouth. Maybe a triple bundle with Trover, all the new games they're releasing, put them in a bundle package and do the PSVR, give it a discount, and that's like the push you do to get more people into
Because they tend to do that. They'll do like the PSVR with the camera and like 2 games.
Yeah.
But then like that won't have the Move controllers or something. They'll do another one that's different games but does have the Move controllers or whatever. So they tend to do that.
It's definitely been VR week here at Collider. Trover Saves the Universe, another game that I demoed last year at E3. You know, I love Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
I played the Rick and Morty VR game, Reality. A lot of fun, a lot of good humor. This game, Trover Saves the Universe, it's by Justin Roiland, who created Rick and Morty. It's not set in that universe, but it's like the same humor, the same voice. It uses the Morty voice, basically, for Trover. He uses his Rick voice for a few other characters. You know what I mean? And it's the same type of humor, just in even the character designs, everything looks and it's almost like an alternate universe. Rick and Morty.
I wouldn't be surprised to see any of these characters show up in the next season of Rick and Morty or something. Like they fit perfectly.
I mean, but it's funny. It's I haven't played the whole game yet, but I've played a few levels, and it's fun.
Yeah.
You're a chair-orpian, and you sit in this chair.
Such a unique use of VR.
Yeah.
It's very unique.
Because you're controlling somebody else.
Because it's third person and first person.
Yes, exactly.
So it's so unique. Sitting in your chair while you control the other character.
And then you can do your own stuff.
You get to look around, but you're controlling the character in third person. It's so unique.
And then you can teleport, et cetera, and so you don't get really sick.
Right.
This one you can sit down and just play the game.
And also I think like you can play it without VR.
Yeah,
you can just play it on
VR.
So I think that's cool because if you just like Rick and Morty or you like the creator's humor, this is the game for you as well.
It's
because
so
it's
good.
ridiculous. I think this is probably one of the funniest, if not the funniest game I've played thus far this year. And as you go on, because I think I don't know, maybe the halfway point, it just gets funnier and funnier. More like the blurbs you see at the beginning, those are expanded. There's new creatures you see, like they get their own like type of insults and stuff like that. So it just the insults get. You think like you think there's a line like the insults are going to be like, oh no, right here, like they just keep stacking them up. They just keep finding new ways to insult you. I think it's hilarious.
When you're like experiencing something like you're watching a movie or a TV show or whatever by yourself, and something's funny, you're just kind of like you enjoy it, but you don't laugh out loud like a lunatic when you're alone. Because that's kind of a shared experience type of thing.
Sometimes you do.
Sometimes you do.
If it's really funny.
Like something that's really funny, but usually it's just kind of like, But you're not like busting a gut by yourself. No, I was laughing like a crazy person in my own world, out loud, like slapping my knee.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. So that's another game. I mean, you said you don't have to have VR so people can play it.
If you have, it's just on PS4.
Yeah, because like the Rick and Morty VR game, Reality, that's a VR game. Like there's a lot of stuff that you need to do in VR space, where this one seems like, okay, you could play it without it, but VR just is a better experience.
Yeah, because you're controlling the third person character while you're sitting in your chair. If you don't have VR, it's fine, but it does make it easier and it is more designed for it because like you can kind of lose track.
Yeah.
And when you're in VR, you can look around. So if you're moving the character, you're like, oh, where did I take it?
And also,
you can turn
spatially, you know where he is.
Yeah.
It's easier to tell
with VR, because you just look around.
And you know what? When we were playing yesterday, when I was playing Trover yesterday, you were like, why are you looking? Like, you're like, because I guess there was when we switched it from because we had it on the big TV first. So in the VR headset, it had it just like as a TV, like square format. So that's why I was like, wait, something doesn't feel right. But I couldn't remember like playing like how it was when we played it.
Was it not like 3D?
No, it was just all black screen. Like when I was turning, or like it was just all black, and it was just a TV. Like it was like a square. So I was like looking down like at a TV type of like how you would see it on your laptop or something. I was seeing it in VR like that, and then when I played it again today, that's when everything was more. I could turn around and actually see.
So you're actually experiencing VR today. All right. So that's a lot of the cool stuff going on in the VR world. I mean, there's a lot more, and I'm sure we're going to be covering that as well. We're working on our Twin Peaks VR game, which is going to be for the HTC Vive and Oculus Rift, which we're also going to port over for PSVR and Oculus Quest as well. All right. fifth one's not a big news story, just telling people the Xbox games with gold, the free games for 2019. They announced it, which today is the 31st, so it starts tomorrow. I'm going to be getting a couple of these. One is Portal, which I had on the orange box, but that was on the 360.
Yeah.
So I just want to get it for Xbox One and see how that experience is. NHL 19. It's gonna, for me, it's one of those things where I don't want to pay the full price.
But it's a
of
fun
these
game
games.
if you can get it
because
free or cheap.
Yeah, so that coming out on there. They also have Rivals of Aether, which I don't know. Earth Defense Force 2017. So if you have Xbox Gold, those are the games that are coming.
Sometimes they burn you. Like I got burned for the PS Plus games this month.
Why?
It's Borderlands: The Handsome Collection.
Wait,
Which you already bought or something like that?
I just bought it like last month. I'm like,
Okay.
oh.
wait,
And then
that's on this month?
June.
Okay,
PS
bet.
Plus, and then the Sonic Mania is the other free one, which I'm excited to play. But
Okay.
but I was like, oh man, I literally just bought that.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
It was only $14
Yeah,
or whatever,
yeah,
but
exactly.
I'm like,
Like, I got
Damn
the
it.
Tomb Raider, the first one, the remastered one for Xbox One. I had bought it on 360.
yeah.
And then I got it for free.
Yeah.
Free. It's not free because you're paying for
On
Xbox
Game
Gold.
Pass?
Xbox Live Gold.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's on Game Pass as well then, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Other sale, PlayStation. I'm not leaving out the PlayStation people, but there's a. I report the
Represent.
sales.
Represent.
This is a good sale, man. Right here.
Let's hear it.
So you got. They're doing a big sale. I don't know when I think it starts in June. Let me look at the.
Their days of play, yeah.
Yeah, days of
It's usually
play.
around E3.
So why the hell is this? Damn. Okay, great. Suddenly this website decided to block me at looking at this. That's weird. Okay. So the PlayStation Pro is getting $50. Yeah, starts June 7th, ends June 17th.
Yeah.
So
during E3.
PlayStation 4 Pro, $50 discount. So from $400 to $350. If you're looking to get a Pro model, Spider-Man, $20.
Yeah.
$20. That's if you already have it, it's definitely well worth it.
Right.
Then you have God of War, $20. I mean, that's two
Damn.
awesome AAA titles for $20 a piece.
Yeah, I got God of War for $20 on Black Friday.
Yeah.
Definitely get that if you haven't played it.
MLB The Show, $19. $20.
I just might have to do it.
Days Gone, which is a recent, just $20. That's a pretty heavy discount for a game that just came out.
Yeah.
I mean, game came out and
A month ago.
Like 3 weeks ago.
yeah, it was like 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, $20. But worth it.
Sure. Maybe.
I wouldn't say it's a AAA title from what reviews have been saying. A AA title, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be AAA.
Yeah. But still, $20.
If you've already played God of War and Spider-Man and you're trying to get a game for $20, I guess it's a good thing, but don't get that above God of War or Spider-Man.
Something Dorian was talking about, they got a VR headset bundle.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
2 games for so the VR system plus 2 games, $250.
Oh.
And it comes with the camera.
Yeah.
As well.
And the controllers?
I don't think it
God
comes with the
damn it.
controller.
They don't do a
Yeah.
lot of bundles with the Move controllers for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Because you don't need them for every game. So
No.
so they don't,
But I mean, something like Blood and Truth, you got to play with.
You
those
have
moves.
to, you have to play
Like
with
Trover,
the
you can
move.
do. You're supposed to use the controller.
Yeah.
But Blood and Truth, you need
Like
those
everybody's
moves.
golf, you can use the controller. It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
You have to.
yeah.
It's stupid, bro. I did that yesterday. You need the move controllers for a game like
and
that.
then like when Iron Man, whenever that comes out, like
Yeah, you need the move
that
controls.
is gonna bundle with the Move controllers. I guarantee
That one
it.
is a definite system seller. I don't know if Blood and Truth is yet.
Well, they haven't marketed Blood and Truth like it is. You know what I
No.
mean? So like a lot of people probably don't even know what it is, and that's weird because it's a Sony London game. Like
Yeah.
Sony made it. You know, but
Yeah.
check it out.
I haven't yet on social media like this until like we started actually like pushing our reviews and stuff. I didn't see like any type of marketing or any push for it until like at the VR thing we went to. But besides that, no really actual push for it. So hopefully maybe now that it's getting reviews, they'll like actually use that as a push for marketing and stuff.
DualShock 4 gamepads, $40 a pop. when did controllers get so this is $40 on sale, usually 60, but when did controllers get so expensive?
Crazy.
I remember back in the day it was like $30, right?
Yeah.
And then 35 maybe. And now it's like, oh, you want a new controller?
$70.
$60, $70. You want an elite controller? It's like 150, 200.
Especially like for the Switch.
Yeah.
Like Joy-Cons are like $80.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want more Joy-Con. And then I'm like, I want a Pro controller, and that's like $70.
Yeah.
And they never go on discount.
Look, I know I'm not good enough at games to warrant me to purchase like $100 fucking controller. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna be like,
Who do you think I am?
yeah, I'm not competing
Maybe that's
in
why-
any esports.
Maybe it'll take you to the next
Yeah,
level.
I don't
though.
think so. I don't think so. Those days are past.
Yeah.
I play games purely for fun.
And those controllers are
Entertain.
confusing anyways. I'm like, what are those things on the back? Like, so you don't have to hit buttons on the front? Like, but what's the... I don't know.
Yeah, so there you go. Those are the sales for the PlayStation 4.
MLB
A lot of good
show.
deals. A lot of good deals. If I had a PS4, I would be definitely picking up Spider-Man and God of War.
Definitely.
And then
If you
maybe
haven't played
Days
it.
Gone. I mean, $20. You know,
I mean, I think that's a fair price for
Yeah.
it. I played a decent amount of it. I think that's a good price.
Yeah.
If you like Tony said, if you already have Spider-Man and God of War, then
You're looking to get a deal, that's a good
then
one.
get Days
Yeah.
on.
But
All right. Let's move on to Twitter questions. What do we got,
All right,
Dorian?
we got Chris El Guapo. That's a nice name. He says, "What's the hardest you've ever raged at a game? The library mission in the first Halo on Legendary broke me."
Hardest. It's got to be a platformer for me. Platformers.
Yeah. I have a couple I can think of. The original Mega Mans have made me blood red mad.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mega Man 2, when the dragon's chasing you, I was playing and there's so much like slowdown because it's like an old system, and then like sometimes Mega Man just disappears because there's too many sprites on screen. I'm like, what? Come on, you're making it harder than it needs to be. And then recently Celeste is an amazing game, but trying to finish that game made me blood red mad. I rage a lot at games.
Metal Gear, not Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear, the original
Proper,
NES
yeah.
version. Awesome game. I mean, I did eventually finish it.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are certain parts. I mean, it's a top-down view, and you got to do stealth in there, and it's just like little tiny. You know what I mean? Like you have barely any ammo in that game, and like people are coming at you. You got to fight like vehicles and and the little thing just gets in your way and hits you and you die and you're like
Yeah.
And there's no manual saving in that game. You know what I mean?
NES was unforgiving.
Yes.
You just start from the beginning.
So those were a lot. That game I definitely took a lot of breaks where I was like, fuck it, and then just go away and then come back later.
I have videos on my YouTube channel of me playing Mega Man, just
Pissed off.
raging. Yeah, it's.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to think like of the last time I raged. Besides, I guess I wouldn't call it rage, but when my hard drive or when my PS4 got corrupted and destroyed my God of War file, that fucked me over real bad. And I played a little bit, but I still to this day am salty about it and just haven't felt the urge to like go back. I know it's a dope ass story. I've thankfully stayed away from like most of the spoilers, so I can go back and I think I'll go back eventually. But that fucked me up real bad.
Yeah, that's like I said, happened to me with Last of Us. Similar thing, not corrupted but buggy.
And it was my fault too, but still.
Mine was not my fault, so I don't know why. But yeah, that's like where it's not the game itself; it's just an issue.
Yeah.
With whatever console, whatever. All right, what's the next one?
Christopher Cochran asked, "I'm not worried about it, but do you think the mixed reactions for Rage 2 make you nervous for Doom Eternal?"
I don't think so.
No, there's
different
such
properties.
Different properties, yeah. Different, and Doom is kind of, this is again Rage 2, right? So they've only had one. And then this is the sequel. Doom has been a series for so long that they've got that blueprint down. And the last one was such a commercial success. It's not like they have to reinvent the wheel from what they're already doing.
Yeah,
They just got to step it up. Just keep bringing the hits.
Yeah, Doom has got that formula down where Rage is like it doesn't know exactly what it wants to be yet, and it does some things very successfully, and then some things not, and so yeah, and it's not like Rage 2 was like a
it didn't bomb.
Mix doesn't like scare me. It's when like something's a bomb.
Yeah.
It's absolutely terrible or whatnot that scares me, and that applies to movies, television, whatever.
Yeah.
You see, maybe a director has a movie and it's absolutely sucked, and the next movie you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure.
Right.
But all right, anything else?
No, that's it for today.
All right. That's it for this episode of the Collider Games podcast. Tony, where can people find you?
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at I am Tony Revis.
You guys can find me on Twitter at Dorian Parks and Rec because Parks and Rec is better than The Office, and you can find me on Instagram at Dorian Parks, and then you can find us all here at Collider Games.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at TakeHero or Instagram, Dennis.tzng. Make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, youtube.com/Collider Games. You'll find our review of Blood and Truth. We're going to do a review of Trover Saves the Universe soon. We have some trailer reactions for Death Stranding and the Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Actually, for us here, if the trailers drop before E3, it's actually beneficial to us because we're on the floor. It's going to be a lot harder to do those trailer reactions from there, so it's actually better for us. But the excitement, I guess, of being at E3 will be lessened if everything comes out beforehand. But you can check that out, and then also subscribe to this podcast that we have on the YouTube channel, but also on the Collider Factory feed every single week. So until next week, see you guys later.